Mr. Williams, how does the concept of European strategic autonomy align with NATO's role and goals, since you are a former NATO official?
I think it's totally incompatible. It's not incompatible politically. The Europeans have always wanted to have a degree of autonomy, and they've achieved a degree of autonomy. They have operations, mainly training operations, but operations now in Bosnia, in places like Africa, they've contributed. But the problem is NATO as a structure demands and willingly the nations accept the contribution of their forces to a NATO structure. Mm-hmm. And it's difficult for me to envisage what Europeans mean by strategic autonomy, because if they're contributing all their forces to collective defense against Russia through NATO, then they can't actually, unless they have an alternative structure, they cannot square their
And do they have an alternative structure, sir? Do they?
No, they don't have an alternative structure. Yes, potentially the EU, but the EU doesn't have a military structure as elaborate as NATO. And so NATO reform should be on the agenda, but the politicians in London yesterday were all thinking about working with America, trying to calm Trump down and work with him. Mm-hmm. So it's totally within the political and military framework of the Atlantic Alliance, as it traditionally has been for 80 years. Yeah.